James Harden just beat Ray Allen's three-point record. Harden was going for the record, and there it is. He beat Ray Allen. He's scoring 40 points. Like, he's the best player in the league, and he's playing defense better than he has in years. And get this, he's 35 years old and still playing more than 30 minutes every game. Hot potato play for Harden. He shoots the three, and it goes in. Harden got second place. But if you ask most people like ESPN reporters about Harden, they'll probably talk about how he wanted to be traded. He said no to 2 years and $100 million of guaranteed money just to leave. So does that sound like a guy who wants to stay in Houston? It does not. They talk about his playoff losses or the jokes about him being out of shape. James Harden isn't a superstar player anymore. He showed up out of shape and overweight. So what's going on? Today, we're talking about the good, bad, and ugly parts of James Harden's career this season and his whole career. By the end, I think. We'll see why James Harden should get an apology from the NBA and why this James Harden situation is more complicated than you think. Let's start with what James Harden has done right this season and throughout his career. It's easy to forget how amazing he's been, especially when you look at his stats and stories at 35 years old. James Harden is one of the most productive guards in the NBA. He's averaging about 22 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds per game while playing over 33 minutes a night. What makes this even more awesome is how much he plays. Harden has played over 1,000 career games and logged over 37,000 minutes, putting him in the top 50 all-time for minutes played. This is a player who for most of his career has been on the court all the time, while other stars like his teammate Kawhi Leonard or Joel Embiid this year have been hurt a lot. Remember, Harden gets criticized a lot for being out of shape, with people saying he's too heavy or not fit enough throughout his career. But the truth is, his ability to show up and play heavy minutes year after year tells a very different story than what we see in NBA news. While most of his friends, like Kawhi Leonard, have had trouble staying healthy and playing regularly, Harden has been out there almost every night. Then there's his defense getting better this season. For years, Harden's defense was a joke. I mean, this guy has more famous moments of being lazy on defense than anyone I know of. Look at this, folks. It goes off his legs. Now he just went and wasn't thinking wise out there. But this season, Harden has turned things around. His defensive rating of 108 is the best he's had since 2020, and it's better than average in the league. This isn't just a one-time number. It shows he's really trying harder and focusing more on that side of the court. Harden himself said this, "The effort has to be there for me, and this year, the effort is there." Now, while I totally agree he'll never be a great defender guarding players one-on-one or helping teammates, the improvement shows that Harden is willing to work hard to fix one of the biggest problems people had with his game. Then there's how efficient he is and his advanced stats. Among all starting shooting guards this season, he's ranked 5th in the NBA behind only Devin Booker and Tyler Hero. This puts him ahead of some of the biggest stars in the NBA like Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, and Jaylen Brown at 35 years old. This kind of efficiency is amazing. It shows he can change his game and still be productive even as he gets older and less athletic. Then there's his impact on basketball history. Harden recently beat Ray Allen for second all-time in three-pointers made. This is what I find crazy. When Steph Curry broke that record, it was celebrated as a huge NBA moment from the start. Wiggins passes. Here's Curry for the record. It's good. And there it is, Stephen Curry. But Harden's big moment barely made the news. What makes this even more frustrating for fans like me is how much Harden actually changed the game, especially if you look at the players he influenced. He made the step back three popular, a move that's now used by players like Luka Doncic and Trae Young. Harden's ability to create space and score from far away changed how the game is played today. Yet he rarely gets the credit he deserves for this invention. Like whether it's good or bad, viewership is going down because the NBA is shooting so many threes, but it's not all good news. James Harden's game, especially this season, isn't perfect. Father Time has definitely started to catch up with him, and it's showing in some important areas. Specifically, his turnovers and efficiency have gotten worse. Harden is averaging nearly 5 turnovers per game. This is the highest turnover rate he's had in years. In his MVP season, he had a similar turnover rate, but that was more okay because he was scoring 36 points per game and getting nearly 10 assists. But now the mistakes are just harder to forgive. James Harden's usage rate this season is at 30% with a turnover rate of nearly 20%. To put that in perspective, Luka Doncic has a similar usage rate of 32%, but a much lower turnover rate of 12%. Meanwhile, Luka is also averaging nearly 29 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists while shooting more efficiently from the field. Harden's decline in shooting efficiency is also another worry. His 3-point percentage is below league average, and his 2-point percentage is just 43%. This means he's having trouble hitting from far away and finishing at the rim. Compared to other starting guards in the league, this puts him way below efficient stars like Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell, who are both shooting over 45% from the field. This is Father Time taking a toll on Harden's scoring ability and efficiency. Now, the 2024 to 2025 Clippers roster has been one of the least stable in the league. Kawhi Leonard has missed the entire season with injuries, and Paul George was traded in the offseason, leaving James Harden without the powerful trio he imagined when he joined the team. Instead, James Harden has been forced into the main role running point guard alongside role players like Amir Coffey, Ryan Dunn, and Norman Powell. Powell especially has stepped up into the scoring role, but that wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Kawhi and Paul George. This change in responsibility has forced Harden to carry more of the offensive load, which could be a reason for his inefficiency. But that's not what he signed up for when he came to the Clippers. He was looking to be a third scoring option on a championship contending team. Then we have the parts of Harden's career that have shaped the story in the media, for better or worse. There's all those trade demands and team exits. Harden's exit from Houston, obviously chemistry, talent, just everything. And it was clear. Like I said, these last few games, I love this city. I literally, done everything that I can. I mean, this situation is crazy. It's something that I don't think can be fixed. So Brooklyn and Philadelphia have left a stain on his reputation. Why did you run out of Brooklyn originally? When I was going through everything I was going through in Houston, Philly was my first choice. It just didn't happen. So in Houston, he forced his way out with people talking about his weight and fitness making the headlines in Brooklyn. He was the first star to break up the KD Harden trio, with many blaming him for the super team's failure. And in Philadelphia, his very public fight with Daryl Morey overshadowed his contributions on the court. Do you have an open line of communication with the 76ers? And how much patience do you need to have to let this play out? I'm just I've been patient all summer, so for me, it just focus on what I can control, and is it too late to repair the relationship? I think so. Now looking back, things are a little bit clearer. Houston was heading for a rebuild. The Brooklyn trio barely played together due to injuries and Kyrie's off-court issues with COVID-19. And in Philly, James Harden played pretty well. He averaged 10.7 assists in 2023, winning the assist title and helping Joel Embiid win his first MVP. Not to mention, he gave up his salary. If you ask him to help the team build a better roster, a move that was quickly forgotten when things fell apart. Yet the most damaging part of Harden's legacy is his playoff record, a mix of brilliance and heartbreak, particularly in the most recent years. I can remember the 2023 Eastern Conference semifinals like it was yesterday. Harden turned back the clock in Game 1, dropping 45 points on the Boston Celtics on their home court. Harden's got 45 timeout Boston, but then the very next game, Harden followed up with just 12 points, shooting 14% from the field. He totally disappeared. In the 2024 playoffs, Harden faced the Dallas Mavericks in the first round. He started strong in Game 1 with 28 points, but then followed up Game 2 with bad shooting, scoring just 22 points on 20% from 3. Then the low point came in Game 5 where he scored just 7 points on 16% shooting from the field and a negative -25 box plus or minus in a blowout loss. These recent playoff performances highlight the inconsistency that has plagued Harden throughout his career. One night, he's an MVP caliber player who can win you a game on his heroics alone, and then the next he just disappears. So why would James Harden deserve an apology from the NBA? Well, the main reason is that the good of his career far outweighs the bad and the ugly that has been exaggerated by the NBA media. To help you put things in perspective, when we compare James Harden at age 35, sure, the Clippers are no real threat as championship contenders. They weren't supposed to be when the league started, but they're certainly